Hi, welcome back to Small Talk Queens. I'm Megan.
I'm Kelly.
Episode 71.
71.
We have another subscriber. We're at 103 now. Not everyone's name is on there, so yeah, right. We had a comment again this week. A nice one. That was nothing. So about I forget her name. She was trying to watch it, and all she could hear was lawn equipment. And then I thought about it like a little bit ago, and I thought, what did she mean? Like while she was listening to it, like behind us was the fucking lawn equipment, which I couldn't really hear that well. Or while she was trying to watch it at her house, some fucking asshole had their lawn equipment going. Wait for it, because it's gonna happen. I've heard him. It's like a wood chipper out here.
Well, I listened to last week's. I don't know what you have to do to get rid of the background noise for us. Like if you hear the lawnmower. Oh, we have to plug the volume in.
Fucker. Okay.
They got an up close view of my arm.
If you're new,
all kinds of language.
we like to fucking swear. And if you don't like it, turn it off now, because we're probably going to offend you. If you're offended already, then you're done. Just log out. Thank you. If you're not offended yet, you might be. So if you're easily offended, skedaddle, scoot. Anyway, so this week is Easter. Like I got my polka dotted Easter sweater on.
We are in freaking Holy Week.
It is Holy Week. Whatnot. Today is
Monday, Thursday.
Holy Thursday, and tomorrow is Good Friday. Joe was very upset because he's traveling tomorrow for work, so he's going to miss it. So he's going tonight. He found a church nearby his hotel, so he's going to go tonight. So he's, I told him he goes a lot, so I think that he'll be forgiven.
He's a good and your
Catholic. Youngest wants to go to Easter Sunday church with Joe, and Joe said that was fine. So last night while we're out riding around.
No, he's not getting up that early.
So, well, we'll see about that.
No.
So do you like my new necklace, my new scarab necklace, and my matching bracelet?
Where'd you get the scarabs?
Well, so
they're coming back. They were big in the early 90s.
They were big. I have my own. This was not mine. This was Joe's mom's. How I found it was...
Oh, so they're real.
I assume so. I don't know.
Don't you have one from Mom and Dad?
I have one from Grandma Wilson gave me one in like my high school graduation maybe or something. Yeah. So I found this when I accidentally pulled my nightstand drawer out the other day and it landed, and thank God I did not have my foot in the way because of course of my bare feet, and it fell out, and I was like, oh, look at all the treasures. I have some new pens.
You went
a
shopping.
Wallet I forgot about.
Shopping in your desk drawer.
Jewelry, and I think I had, because there were a couple other things and they were kind of like costume jewelry-esque, but like a very Liberace. So, like Joe said, I'm a mix between Liberace and Stevie Nicks. Like they had a love child, and I am that love child.
It's kind of...
So, which I thought was a huge compliment. I mean, I think it was fantastic. So anyway, so I'm digging through. I'm like, oh, look at this. Oh, look at this. So I think I had grabbed a handful of Joe's mom's jewelry that I thought I wasn't going to wear or probably going to sell it or something, and like just stashed it in there. I got a big old gaudy pin. I love it. Oh my God. I don't know where pins. No.
Oh.
It's like pink crystals. I love it.
Oh God.
And a black beaded necklace. Like they're big and then they get smaller as they go, and they're like
graduated
beads. It's a big word for the day. And they're like black plastic beads, but they're cut like crystals, like they have like the sides.
Is that twisted?
I have a little kink. I mean, it was in my drawer for how knows how. Anyway, so I went shopping. So yes, so I have Easter sweater. I got my Easter nails. Look at this. Look at this. Those of you that watch, aren't they fucking fun? I was gonna paint them. I can't really see.
Are they? Oh, they're like ombre.
Like an ombre. I just did them quick before you got here. Aren't they fun? I gotta do some little cuticle care, and they're a little. I mean, this is a little long. This particular length is a little long, but I like them. They're springy. They're good for Easter, and my nails had grown out really nicely because I usually like you're supposed to clip them before you put them on. And so when we were in Louisiana, I didn't have time to do my nails before we left. Plus, I didn't want to fuck them up while I was traveling. So I quick grabbed, I'll talk about that. So I quick grabbed a set to take with me, and I did them quick right when we got there. So they had grown out really nicely. I was going to paint them, but I didn't have time for all that. I'm going to let them dry.
I might have to break my scarab out.
Right? Isn't that fun? Oh, if I had time, I would have dug for my other one, but I don't know where the hell that is.
They're really coming back in. They used to be all the rage, like in the 50s or 60s, because Grandma had some, and then in the late 80s, early 90s, when I was in college, scarabs were the thing. The bracelets, especially.
I really like though, like the light, like this one's like lavender. Like I really like the light colored ones.
I have a blue and white one for Penn State, one of the jewelers
in
State
College.
That's
the one I have.
It's blue, I think lapis and white quartz for the blue and white, but it's scarab, and then I have the multicolored.
I don't know if I have. I feel like I have a regular one too.
I think you probably do.
But I definitely have the blue and white one. forgot
And I
all
have
about
scarab
it.
earrings.
I need to I do not. I don't think I need scarab earrings. As well.
They were just little dot blue, like little blue
I don't
ones.
wear little
And then
earrings.
I got Grandma's pin. It's a turtle with a brown scarab for the head. I don't wear pins though.
I thought somebody had an elephant that was a scarab. Am I making that up?
I think you're making that up.
Speaking of elephants,
There's a baby elephant born.
well, that's exciting. So I love elephants. I think they're awesome. They're also like a good luck symbol. I've often wear. I don't know if those of you that watch have seen that. I often have my elephant necklace on, and
And they're very smart.
and they're very smart. And so I read a book by Jodi Picoult. I love her books. They usually leave me gutted because they have this like twist ending that's like always sad. Anyway, I forget the name of the book because I'm shit with titles.
You shared it with us before, the title.
The one with the elephants?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I read it a couple years ago. Maybe I did. It was just last year. Anyway, they talked a lot about elephants, and it was interesting because it was about people living on like they had like elephant like hideaway, like what you would call it, like what's it called, sanctuary thing. All I could think was preserve.
The elephants are on a hideaway.
Anyway, so the thing that happened, the earthquake that happened this
in
week
San
in
Diego.
California, and they showed it. I'm sure by now you have to get off the table because you shake it. The elephants all. And I've heard that they do this, and I've seen it on like whatever fucking National Geographic, and they all herded around,
Circled
with
around.
their ass ends around the baby, and then we're like keeping watch, and I just love that.
And there's a name for it. I forget what they actually call it.
Safekeeping, I don't
Safe
know.
circle or something. They
Safe
call it
circle.
something. They call it.
Yeah, but I've watched it like 16 times.
So they're really smart.
Also,
because they can feel it through
They
their
felt yeah.
feet before
so they
it
get their
happens.
senses. They can hear through their feet, which is it's something like they can hear through their feet. Is something like what they said on the news.
I know they can feel.
I mean, they have giant fucking ears. You think they can hear anyway? But like, look. I mean, obviously they feel the earthquake, but so that was a fun like animal antic this week. Not so fun was the story you sent me about the girl. It's not funny. It is funny. It's not funny. They got attacked by the sea lion because they're all cracked up. Like they're literally like they're on the drugs or whatever.
They're on the drugs from the ocean.
Whatever it is that they're eating. We talked about it a few weeks
out
ago.
in San Diego. Yeah, the
They're
cocaine.
eating dirty fucking whatever in the water, and I thought there was like some disease they were getting that was making them like nuts.
Well, there is a disease.
But this one was on the cocaine?
Yeah.
Hang on, you got a little like concealer you didn't blend in there.
There's also
Hold on.
well, it's also from there's an algae that's
Right.
there, but the algae has contained in it a narcotic from the waste.
Fascinating.
So it's eating the algae. Yeah.
Christ.
Well, not that, I mean, I have a couple of things. So, did you know that otters, I told you this the other day.
I don't know if I believe this, by the way.
Otters have a pocket in their skin to keep their favorite rock in. And some keep their favorite rock their entire life.
I carry stones with me, crystals with me.
Okay, I don't
Guys.
think the otter's quite doing that. But have you ever seen otter? They're
Well, I have a favorite stone.
They're like on their back in the water playing with their stone. So they have a pocket someplace. I don't think somebody just made that up.
Fascinating.
I don't. Wait, and then I have something else.
Okay.
So there was an American tourist about 2 weeks ago that was arrested for trying to visit an isolated island
Why is it
near
isolated?
India.
Do people live on this island?
Yes, it is. He was trying to visit this island, which has an isolated tribe in it. On it, an isolated tribe on it. And he was arrested because it was a restricted island, and he tried to leave Coke and coconuts on the beach for this guy.
Cocaine?
Coke. Yeah, no, Coca-Cola.
Oh.
A Diet Coke, I think. It was a Diet Coke.
Who arrested him? The tribal people? Like who's in charge of arresting?
I'm not sure. That I didn't get, but I know this happened. Yeah, it's an island, a restricted island near India. Tourist, it was all over the news. An American tourist was arrested.
Look, I'm not trying to watch the news lately because I read and see just enough every day that I'm fucking terrified.
Because
and
he
then
was
I
trying
have to, turn it off.
leave a Diet Coke for this isolated tribe. Like the
Well, that's not like a nice gesture.
no, they don't need it. They're isolated. Like it's just and on this same island in
I would like it if someone would like just like in a clandestine manner leave me a Diet Coke.
They've never had it before, and it's also aluminum. Like there's additional.
Your child
waste
brought me a
material.
Diet Dr. Pepper. They were little mini cans.
So here we have those.
In case you need this anyway, I brought it for you.
And on this same island in 2018, a missionary was shot and killed by the tribe
Did we introduce
for
ourselves?
visiting. Yeah.
Did we?
If not, I'm Kelly.
I'm Megan. So, look, I just remember working with Small Talk Queens, episode 71. I think from there we just
Went right
fucking
in.
went. So
And there was a python on the sidewalk of the Ben Franklin Parkway here
there's
in
a
Philadelphia.
fucking alligator. An alligator. Some fucker left their alligator loose in the goddamn water nearby here.
Near Germantown.
Not that you should be swimming in any fucking
Pennsylvania.
natural bodies of water around the Philadelphia area. I mean, look. Ooh, Jesus.
It was not in the Schuylkill River. It was in something
No, it
else.
was in like Germantown. It was
in the Germantown area of the
that's
city.
where Bradley Cooper's from. Anyway, can you hand me my crown? Or do I have it over here? Oh, I have it. Hang on.
I mean, what do you do? People are out there just on their boat or
People are not-
rowing,
I'll put my
and
crown on.
all of a sudden you
So
got
I could-
you got an alligator in there.
We're wrapping up on our words from Vera, by the way. I'm not gonna. We'll finish it next week, but today I have some more.
I have something else.
Okay.
Did you know this woman is this 81-year-old from New York City? 81-year-old woman from New York City was stranded in Puerto Rico because the airline would not let her bring her support parrot along.
I mean, I don't have words for that.
A support parrot. Do you think the parrot talks?
Can't move, right?
Can you imagine? No, that would be even more annoying. But the talking,
Probably want a cracker.
like mine would probably say "fuck you."
I know, right? As we go around on the plane, fuck you, fuck you.
Her support parrot. I've heard
It's
of
like
it.
having a squirrel. I can't. This fucking crown won't stay. It does better when I have a bun, I think.
I got the wrong coffee today.
I can't even. She's over here bitching because
It
they
tastes
put,
like
they
whole
put
milk.
whole milk in my
Look,
coffee.
it doesn't say Kelly. It says
says
Kim,
Kim.
and it has some kind of
not
blonde
the drink.
espresso, and it has added whip. I don't even know, but I need the caffeine, so I've got to drink it. I got to sneeze. I can't believe I
Bless
picked
you.
up the wrong coffee. I'm so pissed.
I like your new blouse, by
Thanks.
the way.
I'm trying to be Easter.
It is very Easter.
Eastery, spring.
I totally forgot I had this.
You look like
I
Easter
only
eggs.
really wear it around Easter. I love it though.
Yeah.
And it's actually too big, except for through the arms. The arms are nice. Look how nice and snug that arm is. It's a little absurd. The rest of it's too big. Okay.
Look at your crown.
Okay. So I was gonna wear a headband, but I was watching last week before I posted it, and all I do is fuck with the headband when it's on because it slides off my head because my glasses both go behind my ears. Although this isn't any better. Okay. We're gonna do our quick British words, British list, UK list.
The British
King's
English.
English, whatever you want to call it. Okay. Lock up. Not what we call it here.
Lock up. You're going to jail.
Right here we call lock up like jail. There it's storage. It's in a lockup. It's in a storage.
That makes sense.
Storage facility.
But you don't want to get that confused.
Also, because I have to have the words across the screen, the closed caption, so I can understand what the fuck's going on. And they spell jail, Gaol.
Wait, spell it again.
Gaol. I'm like, what the fuck is that?
Is that the
Now,
Gaelic way?
I don't know. They said jail, but it was spelled Gaol. It's just.
I don't know how closed captions work. Do they go by sound and pronunciation, or do they go?
I'm waiting for the day that you break my glass top.
Or do they go? I don't know how they do the closed caption at the bottom. Ouch.
I don't know. I don't know. It's a good thing to look into. I need a vacuum out here. Here's a term, cross purposes, so I didn't actually get like a meaning for it, but it's like when you're not on the same page.
Well, that
so
makes
it
sense.
happened a lot when when Vera was interviewing somebody, and like they started talking about something else, and like they assumed that she was there for like a burglary or something, and really she was there to investigate a murder.
Cross
And then she would
purposes?
say, I think we're at cross purposes, which I found interesting. Had a couple jars. Had a couple jars.
Had something to eat.
Had a couple like a whiskey. Like had a couple jars.
Why do they call it a jar?
I don't know, but I like it. I remember because it came on. I was like, I want a couple jars. The guy was like being interviewed. He's like, I had a couple jars.
Do they keep it in a ball jar? I mean,
I don't know. Holiday let.
holiday let, like a small holiday.
Holiday let. Let.
Oh, I don't know.
A rental. Here it's just a rental property. Like, oh, I have a
Holiday let.
I have a like.
Well, the let kind of makes it sound like it's like small, like smaller, like
people
a
have all these
holiday,
little cabins and
smallish.
stuff. It was a holiday let.
Holiday let.
Oh god, what? I can't read my own writing.
Oh, look at that. The handwriting.
I think it's by by hyphen by a lay. No, it's a lay by the lay by
Layover.
area where you pull off along the side of the road, which we call a shoulder.
A shoulder.
Here we call it the shoulder, and there it's called a lay. If I'm reading this correctly, it's lay by, which is the area off along the side of the road, like a rest stop. So here it's either a rest stop or shoulder. Shoulder is just the shoulder, like the extra area where you can pull over. That rest area is sometimes a bigger area than the shoulder, or it's just like an actual rest stop, like with a bathroom.
Or sometimes they just call them a pull-off. Like in the national parks, they have designated like pull-offs off the main road, not even the shoulder. It's like you can put like, it's not a parking lot. You can put like 3 cars in it. Stop and look at something. So what's it called?
A lay-by.
A lay-by.
Lambing, Lamming, lambing.
Laying low.
Hitting,
What?
right?
What kind of hitting? Like hitting a
I
baseball?
don't remember. I mean, this is a few
Hitting
weeks ago. I watched
you?
this one. Hitting, just hitting. Like, quit lambing me. I don't know. He was lambing the ball. Look.
I need some examples.
Here, this is what they used to talk about the homeless. Instead of calling them homeless, they had no fixed abode.
Oh, I like that. That's nicer.
Isn't that nicer than saying like someone's homeless? They have no fixed abode. I like that. Well, and the no fixed abode was also like it's a civil center for the homeless. Like that was called like
that's the name of that.
It was like for people with no fixed abode. Yeah, they had like a civil center for it, which was here we call it a homeless shelter.
Right. Okay.
But the no fixed abode, I think, is a much nicer term. I don't know if I said this one before. Aggro, AGGRO.
No,
aggro.
and I don't know what it is.
Someone who's aggressive, violent behavior. But they call it aggro.
You're an aggro.
Which it's behavior.
He was
like,
very.
I didn't like to deal with the aggro, like the
okay.
like if you're like in an abusive relationship or like your roommate's an asshole and like aggressive, violent behavior, right? Usually. Here we go. This is a good one. Scrote.
Scrotum.
So scrote is a low life. Right, and it comes from, if I remember correctly,
Scrotum?
like calling someone like a low life, like scrotum because it hangs low and it's not a nice term. So scrote is like not a nice word to call someone as a low life.
Nice.
Here's an interesting one too. This is the last one I have for today. I like scrote, especially if I call someone that here, probably not going to know what I mean.
I think they're going to guess that.
They might. Kegs, not what we call kegs of beer here. Kegs. You're never going to guess this. Cover it up. Underwear.
What?
Right? They called it kegs. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, what is happening? So I looked it up. It's underwear. It's an interesting term for underwear. I don't
need somebody
know.
to explain this
And it was
to
spelled,
me. Sarah?
It was spelled the same way, Kegs. She told you the name of the book. You get yourself the book.
I know, but sometimes it's easier if she just...
She cannot be our interpreter every week. My crown is
Sometimes
crooked.
it's easier
My
if she
fucking
just
crown
does
is crooked.
that.
Oh my God.
What?
My crown is crooked.
It should
It's
be.
going to go. It's going to go.
It should be.
Okay, that's all I have for today. Next week we'll finish up. And so look at my pen. I'll show you this.
Where'd you get that
I have
pen?
one for you actually also.
Where'd you get
So
that
when we were
pen?
visiting our relatives, my cousin's husband gave us this, and it's like those things like it's like a fidget.
Oh, yeah.
Like a fidget
Are
thing.
there magnets on the end?
That's what I asked. I don't think so. So one end is a nice, very fine tip pen, and then the other end is just nothing. Like maybe you can refill the pen. You can have that because he sent me one home to give to you too.
Maybe this is for, like, if you're on your phone. I don't know.
I asked that. He said no. It's like a...
Was it Chris?
Yeah, it's a fidget thing. I go, wait, I'm going to take my crown off now.
I like it because it's got
messed
some
my
weight
hair.
on the end so you can fiddle with it.
Yeah.
Like a miniature baton.
Right? Isn't that fun? Fun. So I'm down a page. Here we go. Okay. So sadly this week, we had a funeral over the weekend.
Yes, my mother-in-law passed
Our
away.
mother-in-law passed away.
She was 87.
And it was the first time I've ever been to a funeral where they didn't have it like a teepee, like a tent, like a thing, a tarp, or something.
What do they call it? A tent, like a tent,
you know, a covering.
a covering,
covering.
for graveside.
It was pouring down rain,
pouring, like sideways blowing.
Yeah, I mean, because of course it's windy. It's fucking windy. It's so windy here all the time. Actually, not windy today.
And it was freaking 40 degrees.
It was cold. It was windy, and there was no covering. And so, and Joe was the only one. Well, I wore sensible shoes because I do anyway. But
I had sensible shoes on, but they were
we had no
leather.
socks on.
Well.
And then it's muddy and it's awful. And then
Who?
Joe took his. It was a pallbearer, so Joe took his boots.
Joe did not
Because
share. Joe did not share this information with the rest of us.
We were getting ready to leave, and he had his nice dress shoes out, and I was like, I don't think you want to wear those. Like the cemetery, the grass is gonna be wet. And I either said, you need to take your boots, or he said, that's why I'm taking my boots. I can't remember which way that went. One of the two ways. But
he didn't share.
He didn't
Nobody
share.
called us,
No.
said, you might want to bring some boots. So it was not the funeral home's doing for the
that's a cemetery.
tent and the chairs.
They're cheap.
It was, not the funeral homes. It was the cemeteries. So, but here's the point. Not in any of our family's wildest dreams
Have any of us ever experienced that?
had we ever experienced not having a covering and a few chairs.
When Joe's
graveside.
Aunt Helen died, it was nice out. It was January, but it was sunny out. It wasn't like shit weather. It was just cold. And there were chairs. Different cemetery, though. So this cemetery, Joe's cemetery, is owned by the Catholic Church. It's a Catholic cemetery. There's a serial killer buried there, by the way. H.H. Holmes.
Oh.
I'm reading this book about him a few years ago, the one by Eric Larson, Devil in the White City. Great book. If you're ever looking for a good book, Devil in the White City, which strangely was on one of Patrick's reading lists.
For school?
Oh, that woman looks like Aunt Helen. Look, turn around and look. Kind of like Joe's mom, because Joe's mom looks like Aunt Helen.
They're
fascinating. Sorry, people. Sorry.
Gonna come spook you.
Well, both have passed away, and we're sitting here talking about funerals and Aunt Helen and the cemetery, and then here walks this woman past the window, and that was fucking creepy. I got some goosebumps. Anyway, what was I saying? H.H. Holmes. Eric Larson wrote the book Devil in the White City.
It was on Patrick's
and it was
reading
on a
list.
high school reading list. I'm like, what the fuck? I read this like 3 years ago. Excellent book. And Eric Larson was the name of the author I was trying to think of a few weeks ago. I forget in what we were talking about. But I like his books. He wrote the one about the Mormons I was trying to talk about. Oh. Under the Banner of Heaven. That was what it was. Look at me coming up with the fucking titles.
Whoa.
What, right? I dry out for a day and a half, and look at me.
Oh.
But this cemetery, I had a little cough. The cemetery where Reba was buried was bought. The Catholic Church sold it, and now it's privately owned. And then if I were you, I would call that cemetery.
Well, John already had a conversation with them,
but they weren't interested. They just wanted
They didn't care.
They were trying to sell them something else.
It wasn't even like they offered for an additional X amount of money, because of course we would have paid for it. It wasn't an offer, so they don't have it. And there was another funeral going on.
None of them had it.
Right, at the same time and none of them had a covering. So the poor priest is out there. The book is completely soaked. He can't hold an umbrella because he's got both hands.
Did anybody hold the umbrella over
Yeah,
him?
John did, but then he was moving around a little bit. So John's...
Well, we had giant ones in our car, and I offered it to somebody else, and I was told we didn't need it, so I put it back in the car. And my guess is that, they were both Joe's parents' umbrellas, and they're giant umbrellas, and maybe it's because they're for funerals.
I don't know, but it
special
was
funeral
really, it was really, it really put a damper on the whole thing, no pun intended. And then our shoes got completely muddy because there's no AstroTurf or some plywood.
They put that brown stuff down right over top of the mud, but that didn't really, it's wet, so it's squished through. Yeah.
And
then we went there. So there was a question about whether or not our mother was concerned, gravely concerned, no pun, about where the flowers ended up because they weren't at the gravesite, in which I explained they had the big spread.
Spray.
There's a name for that though.
Spray.
No, like a blanket or something. There's a name for it. So that was there with the coffin graveside, but the rest weren't there. I said, well, they're most likely in the car, and then after the burial's complete, they'll bring them out and put them out.
Right.
So then I said, we'll drive by there and we'll see. So on Sunday, your youngest was here, so we took him over to the gravesite, and I freaked out because I'm like, someone stole the fucking roses out of this, because it's known to happen. We had our entire Christmas blanket stolen from Joe's parents' grave several years ago, so now we don't order anymore. Well, either someone stole it, or the florist just charged us and never delivered it. Which Joe would use the same florist forever, so we're pretty sure someone came in and stole the fucking Christmas blanket. They have a special place in hell, but people do it. People do it all the time. So we go and because the one that Sean had ordered by himself for his Nana didn't match the rest of the flowers.
Right.
And it was all red rose. It was all red and white. So we get up there and there's no red. It's just white. And I was like, someone stole the fucking roses out of this. They're going to fuck to hell. I lost my mind. I lost my
God.
mind. And then we get up there and Joe's looking at him. He's like, there were just some petals left on the ground, right? Underneath of it. And everything was blown to shit because the fucking wind and whatever.
Windy.
The rain.
We had a wind advisory for a couple days.
Ridiculous. But then I'm looking, and Joe's looking at this. We're full on investigative nature here. Joe's looking. He's they've been sheared off. They've just been cut right off. And so I go over and look. So
who's gonna cut just the buds off?
Well, so all the stems were there. I'm like, okay, so they weren't cut off. People would have pulled the stems out. They were eaten off at the top. Yeah. And I'm like, God damn it! And I'm looking at all of the flowers then, all of the different sprays, and they were all the rose, every fucking rose, and all of them was gone. Right, all of them were gone. And then I'm looking at the ground with my keen eye, and there are deer prints, deer hoof prints all over the ground. And I'm pointing them out, these are the deer, and there are deer there, which is why I won't usually walk through the grass because I'm afraid of the fucking Lyme disease. So I was pointing out the different...
Or the poo.
Well, that too. I was pointing out, all the hoof prints, and I had Sean, he was filming, look up and see if deer eat roses. And he looked it up, and he's like, they do. I'm like, okay, good. So... lo and behold, every last fucking rose out of all of the things was gone.
Why'd they just eat those?
that I didn't like the other flower. I mean, they might have eaten other flowers. I don't know what other flowers were all in there, but like, look, these things were fucking ransacked. And so then,
deer.
I told Mom, like, it was the deer that ate them. And she's like, what a waste. Like, I mean, it is, but...
Well, the deer had some extra food.
The deer were probably very excited by all the extra flowers. Probably why the deer fucking hang out there. And probably why everybody else all had plastic flowers on... It is really decorated over there. Like, I don't know if you noticed, like, how well decorated...
No, it was raining so hard I couldn't see.
People would, like, decorate the hell out of the tombstones, out of the whatever. There's a lot of flowers, a lot of the big palm crosses from the palm leaves. Yeah. From Palm Sunday with the big lavender and pink bows. It was very, very festive. Very festive.
Yeah. John's mom's name is not on the headstone yet. And so when the cemetery called to ask him to come in to go over some things, which is, i.e., they want to sell us more. Meanwhile, there's like a big family plot there, whatever. John's like, no, that's okay. And then he did tell them about the not having the tent, and the guy just didn't even acknowledge it. Was just like, okay, well, if you want to come in and meet. John's like, no. But anyhow, he's like, when is I thought my mother's name was going to be on there. They're like, oh, that could take up to, 6 weeks. John's like, what the hell? Can't they go out there and like chisel it in?
No, it took a few months for Aunt Helen to get on.
I'm like, it's not the Flintstones. They're not just going out there with like a...
Actually, I think it is like that. I mean, I don't know what they use, but...
Well, I think it's... Well, my point being is not, cavemanish.
I'm a fast forward.
Wait, I have a new BFF.
Oh, you do?
The funeral...
Do not say her name.
No, I'm not, but the funeral home director. She's, like my age. But she's lovely. It was a new experience.
I mean, when you say motherfucker, she said motherfucker while they were together, and then instantly you're like probably like baby, like sisters from another mama or whatever that saying is, whatever that is.
Well, she's been through a lot. You come to find that out. But here's the thing I want to go with this is that she's very young. She's very nice. She has a sense of humor. I mean, I think she also reads her audience very well.
She also had her lips done. I could tell, but they were done perfectly. God. She had great lips for her age, and
she's just very attractive.
She's a smoker.
The whole family is. Nice. It doesn't matter. But she has a really good sense of humor, and I think that being in that business, you do have to have a sense of humor. Like, and when
the guy at the one and only funeral home in State College, he does not have a sense of humor.
No, and I think you need to read your audience. Like, I don't think she would have, said that to mom and dad, like, had they been the, customer kind of a thing. But I think you do need to have a bit of a sense of humor. And it was a learning experience for John and I, because it was our first rodeo. But it's so nice because it's like a wedding planner. They do everything. The flowers, everything's done. They make the phone calls. They do everything.
I have great issue, and no offense to anybody out there who is a funeral director, because you need to be a special kind of person to do that. But the astronomical cost that's there, all of it. I mean, my first experience with that was when Tracy died, and I went with mom and dad to the funeral home. And the clothes that I had on the day before. Slept in them. And, they give you, like, the big fucking menu. And I hate to be morbid, but, like, look. I mean, if you don't know what's involved, like, now you're going to know. And that's like a menu. Like you're selecting, like...
I didn't have that. They had a room, which was nice.
Well, so we're given this menu. And I'm, like, horrified, right? And okay, great. Yes, there needs to be... It's convenient and whatever, but at the same time, it's the business of making money off of the grieving.
Right.
And the prices were extreme. I remember looking at the urns, and if you want a decorative urn, like to keep ashes in your house, the fuck? The one was like $8,000. I'm like, fuck that, go to Home Goods, get my own fucking vase with a little top on it. Are you fucking kidding me? Get like a nice canister with the rubber thing in the middle, like keep it. Look, it was, just the whole buying, the whole selling of all of it, and the money making and the business behind it. Yes, it needs to be done, but I also feel like it's like uber crass. And like when Joe's aunt died, and we were with his cousins, because the plot, Joe owns the family plot, so he wanted to put his aunt there with her parents and her sister, Joe's mom. So we had to go to the cemetery, and here we are, and it's $3,000 just to fucking dig a hole. Which I find to be... Give me a fucking shovel in 3 days, and I'll go out there
I certainly
and I'll
hope
dig
it doesn't take you that long to dig one.
Why not 6 foot deep? How long does it take to dig a hole? Got a bad back.
They also have a backhoe that comes in.
But at $3,000 to dig a hole probably takes them like 10 minutes, and it's $3,000. Okay. $2,500 if for an urn, the fuck, that hole I could definitely dig. Give me a half hour. So we go and we're with his cousins, and here comes the guy in his fancy car, his nice polished Benz, and he gets out and he has very nice leather shoes on, and he's all like glammed out, and I'm thinking, dude, you're with the fucking cemetery. Like, why are you dressed like this? And then here we are presented with, okay, and here's the check for $3,000 to dig the hole. Like, it's like that fucking whore I used to work for, and she would carry her Louis Vuitton bag. I mean, and we're in an area that's, fairly impoverished,
right.
And then there she is with her, $6,000 watch on and her Louis Vuitton bag.
Well, maybe they were fakes. A lot of people wear fakes. They fall off the truck.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, they look pretty.
I have friends that don't have any qualms with telling you it's fake, but
the bag was real because I investigated enough to know the difference between a real one and a fake one. Her bag was real. The watch could have been a knock. But look, it's the same kind of thing. Like
you should know your audience.
Don't flaunt that. Like,
right. You should know your audience.
I mean, I didn't go with all my fancy, shoes or my fanciest bag or like whatever. I mean, one, I didn't want to get mugged and have it stolen. But also, like, I'm not going to flaunt that to people who have less than. Like, I just feel like it's crass. And anyway, we need to change the subject. Now I'm getting fucking fired up here. But like, look, I feel like it could be done. I feel like she was probably way more down to earth.
Oh yeah,
and better to deal with than.
And we didn't feel like we were trying to be
encountered.
Right. We didn't feel like we were trying to be upsold. Like here's the range, okay, and there's a big difference between kind of, and it wasn't the bottom of the line, but it was their lowest cost, and the high one. There's a big range in between. But she didn't try and sell us the top one. She didn't try to persuade us not to get the cheapest one, although I should say inexpensive, but it didn't look nice. It was like fake metal looking. I don't know. It wasn't nice.
Go with the pine box. It's gonna rot in the ground.
So we. She said, "Well, what would your mother like?" Because sometimes people have these things pre-picked, which is a lesson if you don't already. If you're gonna leave it up to your kids, just go. If you want pink inside, you need to write it.
Also,
okay?
it really be good if you could leave your own obituary. Like some people aren't doing fucking research trying to figure out what year you graduated high school, for fuck's sake. Write your own obituary. Didn't Grandma write your own obituary?
I had to do a little research. No, I don't know, but I had to do a little research.
Look,
mainly because it was my mother-in-law.
They sell books. They sell a journal and book. You can get it. They have it in current catalog because I saw it in the current catalog. I was buying some nice wrapping paper and some fucking cards, and they have it in there. And I've seen it on Amazon also because I looked at it on my phone on current catalog, and then lo and behold, Amazon search things you might be interested in because my phone fucking spies on me. So, and there was one. So they have like a whole book that you can fill out all your information, and I think it's called, the name of it is like Now It's Your Deal, or Now It, like, there are different names for them. Some are kind of funny or whatever, but like, yeah, it's like here you go.
Right.
Like,
so she showed us everything. We had a pick, and she said to John, "What would your mother? Did she have something picked? No. What would she like?" And it was funny because John's like, she would want the most economical.
Right.
She would rather a lot, money go elsewhere than, and then it was just an interesting kind of thing. Like, I didn't know that there was, a concrete by the state of Pennsylvania, you have to be put in like a concrete tomb. The casket goes in.
Which is fascinating. So when we were in New Orleans, we went to the Louis Armstrong #1 cemetery. Cemetery #1, whatever. Louis Armstrong Cemetery #1. They're different. They're numbered. They're a lot. So all the graves are above ground, of course, which is fascinating. But there, like, you get put in on top of each other, and basically, like, once you're done, like, decomposing your ashes or whatever, like, I couldn't hear a lot, and the guy talked really fast, and Dad had fallen, and like, so I wasn't really paying as close. I didn't get as much out of it as I could have. It's easily researchable, but basically they just like out go the old ashes, in come the new or something. Like someone comes, I don't even know. But then I was like, what happened to the other ashes? That's what I was confused about. So I'm gonna have to go back and like look at that. But the guy talked too fast. We're outside. I needed my hearing. I couldn't. I missed part of that. But basically, like they just keep putting people in on.
Right.
Like you just keep going.
They're maximizing.
Also, fascinating enough. So the cemeteries used to be free to walk around in.
Oh. Well, yeah.
But no, now they're like all fenced in, and
because it is a tourist attraction.
Well, because what was happening was people who live there, bums, would say, "Oh, let me give you a tour. Let me give you." They were scamming them, so they would scam like people like us would go and like, "Oh, let's do a tour," and then, "Oh, we'll give you a tour," and they had gone in and they had broken into the different because they're all above ground. They'd broken into them, and like there's a skull, and then they would like take the brick back out, like, look, here's a skull of so and so, and people fucking believed it, and so the people were breaking into the fucking graves,
right?
So
grave robbers.
So now, but they weren't really even robbing it. They were just like getting, well, sort of getting the bones out, whatever. It was crass. Special place for hell for them too, but so now like we paid for a tour, and you cannot be unattended in the cemetery at all.
Yeah, they're not going to have you open and
people,
stuff. Rubbings?
People, well, no, I mean, that
tombstone rubbings.
But no, people had, like, gone, like, drawn on them, like, graffitied and stuff, and people, then there's something with red X's, and I missed what he was saying, but, like, the one gravestone of the, Maria, what's her name, the voodoo queen, had, like, red X's on it. I missed what he said about that,
Did you go to a voodoo shop while you were there?
No, I wanted to, but I did not make it into one. We didn't spend a lot of time on Bourbon Street because it was really crowded with spring breakers and college
So you didn't
students.
even see like a voodoo doll hanging around anywhere?
No, but I also wouldn't mess with any of that because, like, look.
One of the scariest episodes.
Do no harm. Do no harm. Voodoo is just... Whoa, wait. There is a house, though. There is a house. Because those of you who watch American Horror Story, the one that took place in New Orleans, because it was filmed there, and I believe it was filmed there. I could be wrong about that. I'm pretty sure it was filmed there. But Kathy Bates was in that season. It was the one with the witches, and she had been basically buried alive, and they put a spell on her because she was a bad witch. And she used to back in the 1800s, she had slaves who she would torture in the attic. And that's a real story. Like, that really happened.
Is that a true story?
Yes. So the part about her being a witch and being alive and buried alive, and then that somebody went and somehow got her out of that grave, and then she came back to the house, and then, like, they were like, you can't. And one of the witches was black, and she was like, wait, I don't understand. Like, and she was really rude to the girl. It was the heavyset girl. I think, was it the same one who played Precious in the movie Precious? I think. I don't know, but the interactions with them. If you were that season of American Horror Story was excellent. With humor, Stevie Nicks was in that season.
Oh.
She did a little cameo here and there. I don't remember. But anyway, so that's a real house. Like, that really, I don't know if you can tour the house, but it really did happen. And then the first night we were there, we were coming back from dinner. And, you know, what did I say last week? Ripe, but a little bit drunk, you know, coming back from dinner. And we were looking at the different, like, some of the architecture is beautiful. And this one house we stopped and talked about was really cool, but it had these things along the bottom that looked like maybe water could, like, wash out or wash through. And Joe said something about, I think that's, like, when people would, like, use the toilet or something, maybe would come back out. I don't really know. But then he said he looked it up. I think that, I forget. I have to go back and look at that. I don't know. But anyway, the house itself had some kind of, like, serial killer or crime scene, cyanide poisoning, some guy killed his family, something like that. He sent me the link, and I was, like, half asleep looking at it. I need to go back and, like, actually, but the house was, like, right there. We passed it. It was a really cool house. I got a picture of it. But so there's, like, murder and mystery in that house.
Now I'm dating myself, but in the mid 80s, one of the scariest episodes of Fantasy Island that I watched.
Oh my God.
It was not a rerun. It was, prime time on a Saturday night. Fantasy Island, one of the scariest episodes was for some reason, there was like voodoo. Some guy was doing voodoo on the island, and it just scared me.
I do know the history of the voodoo doll, which we learned while we were in New Orleans from the tour guide. This part I did hear.
I have voodoo dolls in my mind.
The voodoo doll, however that came about, the original reasoning for it was that, like, the slaves who were brought here from the islands, who practiced homeopathic ways of medicine, when they did that here, the natural forms, they couldn't write. And so they had made, like, for their patients, like, let's say you came in with a broken arm. I whip a little doll of you and, like, put, like, a pin in it, like you broke your elbow. And then, like, let's say you come back and you're having a headache. So I stick a pin in the head, and that's how they documented what was wrong with the person and how they were treating them or whatever. Like,
Makes sense.
That is the history that we were told on the tour, and that guy could be wrong. I didn't look it up. I'm assuming he knows his shit, but that was what he told us, like, how the voodoo doll came about.
So when did it take on the, I'm going to voodoo poke the eyes out or
just
whatever?
For funsies, and I don't really think it's legitimate.
Oh.
I could try. You need to have something personal, though, of the person to put it on the voodoo doll. Like, I'm not going back to the place I used to work to get some fucking pizza for weave and stick on there just so I can fucking torture with some pins. Karma will take care of itself. I hold no grudge, obviously.
We're in Holy Week, Megan.
That's right. Okay.
For those that celebrate.
Speaking of voodoo and Holy Week and terrorizing. Anyway, switching gears. Speaking of scary, though, my friend sent this to me. I fucking love it. I love it. In Switzerland, you can hire a terrifying fucking clown to chase somebody for a week. They can look, and if they get caught,
wrong.
If they get caught, something like a pie in the face. I forget. You can put like a pie in their face. I forget.
Who?
Oh my god,
the clown gets the pie in the face, or the person?
I need to go back and read it. But I was like, oh my god, and I said, this is the best. My friend was like, if we lived in Switzerland, I would totally do this to you. I'm like, I would totally do it to you. Totally, this is fantastic.
Oh my god.
I said, we should start it here. And I'm like, never mind, we can't do that here because in Switzerland, I'm pretty sure there's like a handgun law. Like you're not like allowed to own guns. But here you just get, here someone gets shot. Like, right. I mean, if some, I don't own a gun, but some clown's chasing me, like, look, I might then acquire a gun.
Or you call the cops and then it's.
It wouldn't be funny here. I mean, I think it would be funny, but not funny. But like, look. But the clown in the picture, if that is the clown.
Oh my god, it was a scary
it was a terrifying clown. Picture. Yeah, but what a funny idea. And I sent, my friend is terrified of clowns, and I sent it to her. I'm like, oh my god. I'm like, I totally would do this to you. She's like, you're awful. Why would you do that to me?
Scary. Some people still haven't recovered from the clown in the sewer thing from the It in the red balloon.
So I saw that
Clowns are fucking scary.
That clown was terrifying. I remember that clown. I was in like, I don't know. I'm going to say like 6th grade or something when that came out. Somewhere between 5th and 8th grade when that original It came out. It was on TV like
by Stephen King, right?
Yeah, 2 or 3 nights in a row.
No. Why would you have that on TV?
And I watched it. I loved it. And the guy who played John Boy from the Waltons was in it, whose name I can't remember. John Boy.
I don't know who it
anyway. He was in it. And I remember that clown was on the cover of like the TV Guide or whatever TV thing we got, and I cut it off. I cut it off, and then I glued it onto a piece of construction paper, and I put it in a big round envelope and sent it to my friend at the time, who I was friends with at the time, who was terrified of clowns.
Oh my god, I can't believe you did that.
Probably why we're not friends anymore.
No, well,
that's not why. But yeah, so most amusing. And I watched the remake, not the remake, the part 2, the fucking sequel, whatever was on, like 2 years ago or something, I think.
That's a sequel? I thought it was a redo of the original.
No, it was a sequel. It was a sequel because they all come back as adults.
Oh.
Like they were adults then, but they come back more of an adult.
No.
Because every so often or whatever, the clown would reemerge or whatever.
No.
And the guy who played it was, I think, the Skarsgård kid. The Skarsgård guy, the older one, the actor played in the, with the hammer, the Thor movies. He was the scientist. In the Thor movies.
That is. I mean, I've seen.
And then
Thor,
his sons are all actors. Well, his one son is the hot Eric guy who played Eric in True Blood, the hot blonde. Fuck, you don't watch True Blood. God damn it. Anyway, and his youngest was one of his younger sons was the one who played the clown this time around in It, and it was, yeah, I mean, it was pretty scary. I mean, if you don't like clowns.
No
really,
clowns.
Yeah. I mean, Stephen King is really...
demented?
I mean, he's a fascinating mind.
How's he sleep at night?
Well, it doesn't scare him, I guess. Fascinating mind. I mean, he ruined Cats for me. Not the Broadway play, but the animal. I'm terrified of cats.
Isn't Cujo the dog?
Cujo, yes, also. And so St. Bernard's I'm leery of. I mean,
but dog.
When that dog got bit by a bat, right? I think it was bit by I was chasing a rabbit and I got bitten. It was bitten by a rabbit.
I never saw it. I don't like Stephen King is great, but I don't like watching his
Cujo's
movies.
good. The lady who played the mom in E.T. was the mom in it too. But then the St. Bernard got the rabies and then literally just lost his fucking mind. It was like attacking. I saw that also at a young age. Like we didn't have cable, but we had HBO. And, by the time the youngest rolls around, and those of you that are parents probably know this, I remember a friend of mine, when I was in high school, he was in college, and he was the youngest of, 8 kids in New York. And he's like, my oldest sibling is, could never leave the house. Strict. He's like, I would come along, just go play in the fucking street, it's fine. And it's true. The youngest, you're just kind of whatever. So, whatever you were watching, I was watching. Mom and dad went away. Sometime they went to Virginia or something to see our uncle, and we were watching 9 to 5, and you were we were allowed to see 9 to 5. We were at a young age. I mean, looking back on it, I don't think it's bad. I mean, I was probably 6 or maybe not necessarily overly appropriate.
Who was
Lily
in it?
Tomlin.
And Lily Tomlin.
And what's his name?
The guy died.
I know
played the boss.
He died recently.
Yeah, I don't know his name.
I forget his name. Anyway, love that movie. And and Jane Fonda's in it, right?
Oh, yeah, Jane Fonda.
So, if you've not seen 9 to 5, I mean, what planet do you live on? But we were watching it, and we knew, like, we were allowed to watch it, and we'd seen it numerous times, but, like, Grandma and Grandpa were watching us, and you were like, be quiet. Because we were, like, laughing, and, like, and then sure enough, she came down, and we got yelled at for watching it because it was not appropriate. That was the end of 9 to 5 that weekend. But,
it was probably on, like, 50 more times.
But other movies, like Cujo, I don't know how old, I was young when I saw Cujo. Also young when I saw Poltergeist, which is not Stephen King, but that fucking, oh my God, Poltergeist. Joe had never seen it, so we watched it a couple of years ago. Remember, I had a Ronald McDonald doll.
Oh?
Probably, I think Poltergeist was probably what did it for me with clowns. Like, I'm not terrified of them, but I don't particularly like them.
Poltergeist scared the shit out of me.
Was that fucking clown? Oh God. And then I had a Ronald McDonald doll. It used to sit in my baby doll height chair next to my bed. And at night, that fucking thing, I had to just turn it around. Because I couldn't put it under the bed, obviously. So I just turned the fucker around, or like threw it in the closet or whatever. I mean, and then I saw Chucky, the Chucky movie.
Those look stupid, but I haven't seen them.
Well, so I went to
Chucky.
So again, saw it at a young age where we still had Tracy and I still shared a room, and we still had dolls, and up on the shelf, like we weren't playing with the dolls, but we had our dolls.
Right. And collecting.
And so our beds, our room was set up so like my bed was over on this side facing the door, like facing her over here, and then her bed was over here with a space between us, like catty corner from each other, so we could like facing each other. So above her bed, the head of the bed, was her shelf with all of her whatever toys and books, collectibles, and above my head and the head of the bed was my stuff. So I'd lay in bed and see her fucking dolls. Nope, done. But Stephen King, the Pet Sematary one, and I don't even know if I mentioned this before, but that was it. Junior high, I think it was 8th grade. I read the book and I saw the movie, and both scared the shit out of me. And like Cujo, okay, the dog got bitten by a rabies animal, and then I had rabies, and then it was like crazy. But fucking Pet Sematary, they brought the fucking cat back to life, and then like the cat was like terrifying, and then they brought the kid back to life, and like, look. He has a demented mind, but he is fascinating.
Yeah.
He writes all kinds of other shit, too, under a pen name.
Yeah, I forget what they are.
I mean, he like, is so, like...
good
what's
writer.
The word? Prolific? Is that the right word?
I don't know. Good writer.
No.
Excellent writer.
No, he is. But you don't read his shit.
Good imagination. No, it's too scary. No way.
Anne Rice is buried in, speaking of scary...
Oh, she wrote the Vampire... What are those? The Vampire Chronicles. The movie... Brad Pitt was in one of the movies.
Yeah, with
Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise.
Took place in New Orleans.
I know.
Oh
we
my
were just
God.
Joe and I were just talking about it.
What is the name of that?
Interview with a Vampire.
Yes. Anne Rice.
We
She
wanted
wrote
to
a bunch of
go.
stuff.
We were going to go see her. You can go visit her grave, and we were going to go. We didn't. In our hotel, they had a suite we passed every day on the way back and forth from the airport called the Anne Rice Suite. I called to see if we could get switched to it. It was an extra $100 a night, so I said never mind.
Was that someplace she lived or stayed, or
I don't know.
Or maybe just had her books in it. I don't know.
It was a nice. It was really nice sized room though, because like our room was small because like we don't need. We're only there to sleep. Like we're not having funsies hanging out. Like we don't have the TV on at all while we were there. Like literally went in, changed our clothes,
funsies.
Whatever, got ready to go to dinner, like whatever, got up in the morning, got ready and left. Like we weren't there. We had coffee in the morning and there, like that was it. Slept, showered, left. Like that was the extent of the hotel room. So, but the air conditioning was not working to it was not functioning at the capacity with which I wanted it to
You
operate.
said it was the thermostat was like up
Yeah,
there
it
for
was
funsies.
just for funsies on the wall. It didn't actually do anything. So the guy came and like fucked with it, and supposedly that would made it better. It did not. You're shaking the table.
Did you get?
And so we were walking past, going to the elevator one day, and the maids were in the suite cleaning it, and the people had left, and we were looking at. I was like, "Oh, this is a nice size room. Yeah, like a little living room area. Yeah, it was really that was big. It was like twice the size.
Well, that's why it was more.
Right. But then I was like, so I called down, like, is it available, and how much is it? And she's like, I don't know if it's available, but I don't know how much it will cost either. It's at least $100 more a night. What do you know, bitch? What do you know?
Oh,
what I wanted to say.
My God.
I got off the phone. That was the end of that.
Oh my God.
Anyway.
Speaking of the rage, it really has nothing to do with it, but it might calm you down. I have an Easter drink. You put it up, the picture.
Yes, we have 2 Easter drinks. You have to pull up the one on your phone because I don't have it on
The one is a chocolate bunny. This is the recipe for the chocolate bunny
the
espresso.
Lindt chocolate.
Yeah, the Lindt chocolate. It can really be any hollow chocolate bunny. You cut the ears off.
Those of you that watch, those of you that are on Facebook, I posted this the other day on our Facebook page, but I know a lot of you are not on our Facebook page, so you may not have seen it. But yeah,
I'm looking for the picture of it.
Excuse me, she's gonna pull up. You take the chocolate bunny and you cut the ears off, and then it's a hollow rabbit. So then you whip up the drink. While you look that up, I'll continue with this. It's a chocolate bunny espresso martini. So it's 1 large chocolate bunny, 2 ounces of vodka. You have very nice handwriting. 2 ounces of Bailey's Irish cream.
There's the drink. The bunny missing his ears with the drink, the liquids in it, and the whipped cream on top.
So 1 large chocolate Lindt bunny, 2 ounces of vodka, 2 ounces Bailey's, 2 ounces espresso,
whipped cream and Easter sprinkles.
Whipped cream and Easter sprinkles. Right, delightful. And then I think the martini one, but it's in your Instagram, I think, or in your Facebook. I don't know where I sent it to. I don't know.
The espresso? No, this is the espresso martini. What's the name of yours?
I don't remember. I sent it to you, but it had a martini glass.
In Facebook?
No, I think it was Instagram.
The Instagrams?
The Instagrams. Speaking of Instagram, while you look that up, so there's this new person, this new kid I follow. It's like Cooking with Taylor. It's this adorable little fucking British kid who with his little dinosaur apron that says Taylor.
So cute.
He is fucking cute. Oh my god, and he does cooking. He is so adorable.
Hang on. Do you want the recipe too?
Yeah, bring it up and show the picture. I'll post it on Facebook later. But
where did it go? I got a squirrel.
You go so fast. How can you even know where it's at?
There's the clown.
No, you went too far.
Okay, keep talking while I find him.
Anyway, Taylor, super cute.
Here it is.
There you go.
Okay, get ready because it's gonna move. Oh fuck.
Take a screenshot of it.
There. See, it's the Cadbury mini egg. And you know, I can't find the Cadbury eggs anymore, those little ones, or the big ones that have all the goop inside.
Egg.
The Cadbury mini egg martini is what it's called.
Show a picture of that. What's all whipped?
They don't have a
Never mind. There you go. Look at that. Look at that. Oh my god. It's diabetes in a glass.
They don't have the recipe for it on here.
Click on it. You can probably look it up. Well, so the little boy Taylor,
he's adorable. He's English.
Red hair, the little British kid, fucking cute. He made these cookies. So he took a Cadbury egg. He unwrapped 4 of them. Or 5 of them. But he's like, I'm going to save one for myself.
It is really diabetes in a cookie.
The dad made up cookie dough, and then he glopped it on, and somebody helped him to smoothly. So he rolled the Cadbury egg, the big one, in cookie dough, and then put them in muffin tins. And then after they were cooled a little bit, he took one out and he used his little plastic knife and cut it in half, and it was all gooey inside. He was very excited. And it looked so good. So good. Now I really want to make one. It's like the last thing in the world that I need. But oh my god.
There are a couple drinks on here. The Peeps Marshmallow Martini.
Oh wow. Isn't that fun? Google it, people.
I don't know. Wait, my leg is shaking. Right? Does it give the ingredients right there?
You probably have to click on it for the ingredients.
I know, but I think it's listing them up there. And then, I used to shake it.
I can't see it from here.
And then you put some icing around?
And people
or marshmallow. That's fluff.
Oh, the marshmallow fluff. Oh, my God.
Around it. And then you stick one of those.
Messy, though, I think.
One of those bunnies in
That's
there.
Fun. I don't like Peeps. I don't like marshmallow. The only way I eat marshmallow.
And here's this one, the Cottontail Margarita.
Oh, that's fun.
Another marshmallow. Let's look and see what it says. It's giving you the recipe down at the bottom.
But it's also backwards. Those of you that are watching this.
They can decipher. We've got a smart crew. Oh, look, you line it with coconut. What does somebody say about coconut? It's the gift that keeps the food that keeps on giving.
Joe doesn't like coconut
because it gets
Although
your
he
teeth.
did try an Irish potato this year, and he said they weren't bad. I think because the coconut was ground up so fine that it didn't. I mean, he ate one, and I didn't think he was going to. I'm like, why are you eating one? He's like, well, I don't get a treat if I don't have one. Everybody else is having one. Oh, that's fun. A bunny Bellini. I don't like Bellinis. When we went to...
Look at that. You can use these Peeps in so many different things.
You can. I don't like Peeps. When we went to Italy...
Wait, it's Prosecco. The bunny Bellini is Prosecco, peach puree, raspberry liqueur, and bunny Peeps. It doesn't say how much of everything, but look.
Cherry? When we were in...
It's a raspberry.
I want to say in Venice, but I forget. I want to say Venice. There's the famous Harry's bar. Somebody famous used to go there. I don't remember who. One of the writers, maybe, or I don't even know. But Harry's, and they have a Bellini. So we went and paid a ridiculous price for this small fucking drink, $15 a piece. Well, and it was just, I'm not really a mixed drink person. I'm wine or beer or martini. And again, my martini is very much also very basic. I do like a good espresso martini. And since we got the Nespresso maker, so Joe got an espresso machine for his birthday.
Our gift to him for his birthday.
And now we're addicted to fucking espresso.
All you need is to be more hyper.
The machine is Nespresso. The brand is Nespresso.
With an N.
And it makes espresso and it makes coffee. And then, but they have different recipes. And then you can get they had so we could make the martinis, and like there was something on there about making them like on the. It came with an app, for Christ's sake, which tells me. So Joe's away this week. I'm trying to make. I'm like, how do you work the machine? Well, of course he can't get back to me because he is the coffee operator, right? Oh. So he told me the other day, but I'm like, whatever, I'll remember. And I went out and I started to do it, and I'm like, what's happening? And something's flashing red at me, and then my phone lights up, and it was like, your Nespresso machine needs attention. So I opened the app, and it was not in the sufficiently locked position. Like I thought it was locked, but I had to move it further, but I don't want to force it, and it seemed like I had to force it. So I had to then it worked, and so but because he was like, do you want to like get the stuff to make espresso martinis? I'm like, that's the last fucking thing I need is we sitting around at night drinking fucking.
I was gonna say in the morning you'd really have a great day.
I know, right? Start off with a little bit of vodka and a little bit of coffee.
Here's another drink. It's called the Drunk Bunny, which I think is hysterical. The Drunk Bunny has white rum, lemon slices, strawberries, pink lemonade, pink or yellow peeps, and then the bunny marshmallow.
And then I suppose you just mix it all in a shaker and put it. Yeah. You have to quit shaking the table.
Oh my god!
And then you stick the peep in the top.
They have a carrot mule. Look, if you go
I love a fucking
go to _my bartender on Instagram.
If you're on the Instagram,
you'll see the recipes and the pictures.
And thank you, my friend Christy, who I went to high school with. She was the one that said we should do the drink segment, a cocktail segment, which we did at Christmas time, and then look, we fell the fuck off with it. But if you have never had an espresso martini, so the first time I had one ever was last spring, the weekend before my back surgery, and we had friends visiting, and we'd been kind of drinking all day. Like it was one of those things where like we got up and I don't usually drink what are they called with the champagne and the orange juice?
Like, oh my god,
right? I'm like a fucking brain. The minute the camera goes on, I'm a fucking brain fart.
It's not a Bellini. It is. Oh my god! It's
right?
just left my
look it
mind.
Up. Look it up. Oh my god! I feel like a moron.
Wait, it's gonna come to me.
Anyway, the orange juice
have them at brunch.
Right there all the time. I don't generally like them because orange juice gives me the agita and champagne gives me the agita. And those of you at home are thinking, what the fuck is the agita? The agita is the heartburn. Both of those things give me heartburn, so I don't generally have them. Oh, I just had it and I lost it. God damn it.
I'm looking.
They have that Limitless one at brunch place in the city.
Mimosa.
Jesus H. Christ. My God.
Mimosa.
Okay. Fucking mimosa. Ugh. So mimosa.
Mimosa.
Okay, mimosa. So our friends were visiting. We had mimosas in the morning. Well, first, let me back up. First, we had some Baileys in our coffee. First, we just had plain coffee. Then, the morning is, whatever. Joe was wherever he was, and so we're hanging out waiting for him to get home. And so we had some Baileys in our coffee. And then we had some mimosas because they brought the stuff for it. So, okay, we'll have mimosas. And then it was time to get ready and go out for the day. So we went out, and we were kind of like bar hopping a little bit. And I was tired, but I didn't want a cup of coffee because, like, ew, in the middle of, like, day drinking. And they're like, try an espresso martini. I like martinis. I like coffee. I'll give it a try. It came with little coffee beans on top. Oh my God, I had like 4. So
nice.
Maybe I had at least 2. It might have been 3. It was not 4. But I ate the coffee beans. Ugh. And then we came home. I just went the fuck to bed. No makeup off, no brushing the teeth, just passed out. Got up in the morning, and I had this fucking like brown shit all through my teeth.
God.
From the fucking beans. It was so gross. I was horrified. So very, very quickly flossed and brushed and mouthwashed and cleaned out them. I was so gross. But I mean, I love them. And then there's a place in the city that we were out with friends at Christmas time, and I guess we're supposed to meet for drinks first. Nobody told me we were supposed to meet for drinks first. So I did not make the assumption that we were doing that. So Joe and I missed the pre-drinks, the pre-dinner drinks. But I got the text that they had fucking the espresso martinis like on tap.
Oh.
And there was a place I saw in New Orleans that had them on like they had them like just like turn the thing and like out they come. Like remember that place on South Street in Philly that used to have all the slushies?
No, I don't remember that.
Oh, I don't even know if it's still there. I don't like slushies either, but again, the agita with the mixed drinks. But they had all these different slushy drinks, like vodka drinks, like on, like it was just like it was.
I don't remember that
on tap, and I can't remember. It was like a club at night. I forget the name of it. Damn it. Anyway.
Well, before we go here for some Easter celebration, here's this little dude what's his name? Taylor.
Taylor.
I just want you to hear.
Hopefully, we're allowed to.
I just want you to hear.
replay him.
Yeah, just not the whole thing. Just his.
He's on the Instagram.
He's on the
encourage you
Instagrams
to look
and
him up.
YouTubes.
You know how long
Oh
we've
wait,
been waiting?
I can never do this right. Get ready. Get ready. Here we go. One more time.
Today we're gonna make cream egg cookies. First, gotta get the cream eggs out.
He's just the cutest
he is
thing.
the cutest.
He'll make you happy.
Because my phone listens to me, right? And I talk about the British English all the time.
Right.
And now I'm getting the Instagram with the kid with the from England or wherever he's from, somewhere in the UK, and he's adorable. And then I'm like, and one after another pops up. So I'm like sending them to her. I'm like, you have to watch
The
this kid.
accents are just so cute.
Today.
And he's like so full of energy. He's
If you're
funny.
looking for, look, there's so much terrifying shit on the news right
Yeah.
now. If you're looking for like some fun, look him up. Also, the Charles McBee guy who's on Instagram, he is fucking hilarious. Oh my god, like laugh out loud, hilarious.
Does he even swear? Whoops.
No,
Here he is. I'm going to just play his voice.
he's
Charles McBee. MC.
He's a writer. He's a Hollywood writer for something, because he was talking about how, like, while they were on strike, he was looking for something to do. When the writer's strike was happening, like, this just was something fun for him to do to, like, keep him active and busy. And it turned out he has, like, 200,000 followers and, like, whatever. But he is hilarious. Oh, my God. And so he's on this April. Thank you for April posted it, and I watched it. And then I watched, like, and then I followed him, and now I watch, like, every day I look for a new one because he is hilarious.
I'm looking for one.
I mean, where's like the sliding board one? Like that, it's all about like when we were kids, like shit that went on like in the 80s. For those of you that are of our age,
Wait, here's
he is
one.
Around our age.
This is the bead mazes. This is just a glimpse.
Oh, this is funny. This is funny.
Else play with this thing in the doctor's waiting room when they was little. We moved these bees with the intensity of a Wall Street trader and the grace of a child who just ate a crayon. We was all bead engineers.
You gotta watch him. It's really funny. Oh,
He
really
is
funny.
I got fucking Charlie Horse in my leg. Oh my god. These chairs. So anyway, okay. So yes.
Happy Easter for those that
Easter.
celebrate. Happy Passover.
Next week,
They're changing.
Gladys and Gertrude are going to have on. I bought them spring outfits because they can't stay in their Easter dresses
I was
forever.
gonna say those are kind of spring.
Well, I mean, the Easter bunny, they're gonna change. This one I have to cut to get it off its neck over
Oh
its
my
head because
God.
the neck hole was not.
Are
the
you
right
gonna
size.
be able to use it
I
again?
did a little snip. Yeah. Next week they will have their new spring outfits on. I'm very excited. Aren't
Where
they
do you
lovely?
keep the new clothes?
Well, right now they're in the box from Amazon out in the parlor, waiting to be put on. I like your jewelry, by the way.
Thanks. I think you gave me
Is
these
this new?
earrings.
Did I? I
Yeah.
have good taste.
Yeah.
The necklace is nice too.
This I've had.
I like the blouse. Anyway.
Oh, I like yours. So, we're so complimentary
Okay.
today.
So,
Unusual.
all right. Well, for those of you who celebrate, happy Easter.
Happy Passover.
Is it Passover over? Is it?
No, it's
I
going to
don't-
be
it all
over.
jives.
It
I don't
started
know.
last Saturday.
Okay.
So
It's
it's
the week
8
before
days.
Easter.
Yes, it's 8 days.
Okay. Please don't break the pen.
I want this fidget.
You can have the fidget. He gave me one to give to you.
Okay, I don't want that one.
Anyway, for those of you
Okay.
who were new this week, thank you so much for watching, and I encourage you to go back and start at the beginning when you have nothing better to do and
Yeah.
watch because you've missed all the good stuff back at the beginning. We also build upon it,
Sometimes.
Anyway, thanks for tuning in. If we offended you, we're sorry. Actually, we're not. Just please don't tell us about it and just go away. So there's that. So anyway, happy Easter, happy spring. We'll be back next week. Thanks for tuning in.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye.